Welcome back to another deeply enriching episode of Journey to Success. I'm Emily Carter, your host, and today we're exploring a topic that touches every facet of our lives: learning to manage emotions. Joining us is an extraordinary guest, Dr. Rachel Coleman, a distinguished clinical psychologist, best-selling author, and emotional intelligence expert who's empowered thousands to navigate their feelings with grace and purpose. Rachel, it's an absolute honor to have you with us today.
Thank you, Emily. I'm truly delighted to be here and dive into a subject that's not just about controlling emotions, but about harnessing them as a source of strength, clarity, and connection in our journey toward a meaningful life.
I'm so eager to hear your insights. Emotions can feel like a roller coaster, lifting us up or pulling us down when we least expect it. Rachel, let's start with the big picture. Why is learning to manage emotions so essential for personal growth and success? And how does it shape our journey?
That's a profound question, Emily, and it really gets to the core of why emotional management is such a vital skill. Emotions are the colors of our inner world. Joy, anger, fear, sadness. They signal what matters to us, guiding our decisions and relationships. Managing them means understanding and channeling these feelings constructively, rather than letting them steer us off course. It's essential because unchecked emotions can cloud judgment, strain connections, or trap us in cycles of stress, hindering growth and dimming our potential. But when we manage them well, emotions become allies, fostering resilience, empathy, and focus that propel us towards success. This skill shapes our journey by building self-awareness, strengthening bonds, and enabling us to face challenges with a clear heart and steady mind, creating a life where we're not just surviving but thriving in authenticity and purpose. I think of Nelson Mandela, who said, "If I must die, but I must not fear." His ability to manage fear and anger during 27 years in prison didn't just preserve his spirit, it fueled a movement, transforming a nation. Early in my own path, I was a social worker in Chicago, overwhelmed by cases and my own emotions, frustration, sadness, burnout. I'd snap at colleagues or shut down, feeling like I was failing. But when I learned to manage those feelings, through mindfulness, reflection, and intentional pauses, everything changed. I became a coach, wrote books that reach millions, and built a practice that helps others thrive. Managing emotions isn't about suppressing them. It's about listening to their wisdom, using them to grow stronger, and shaping a journey where every feeling becomes a step toward a richer, more impactful life.
That's such a radiant way to frame it, Rachel. Emotions as allies for growth. Mandela's strength is so inspiring. You mentioned your own struggles as a social worker. Can you walk us through how someone can start learning to manage their emotions, especially if they feel overwhelmed or out of control?
Absolutely, Emily. The first step is to pause and name your emotions. When feelings surge, they can feel like a tidal wave, but pausing, even for a breath, creates space to understand what's happening. Ask, what am I feeling? Anger? Anxiety? Naming emotions reduces their intensity and gives you clarity. One tool is an emotion check-in. A few times daily, jot down what you feel and why, like frustrated, work piled up. It builds awareness, the foundation of management. I draw inspiration from Maya Angelou, who said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Her ability to name her pain and joy through writing healed her and millions. When I was a social worker, I'd spiral. Cases triggered anger, I'd lash out, then feel guilty. I was overwhelmed, my work suffered. Angelou's wisdom helped. I paused, named, "I'm sad for this client," and journaled nightly. It calmed me. I listened better, my cases improved, and I pivoted to coaching, my book soaring. I coached a client named Sarah, a barista who'd snap at customers, feeling crazy. She was lost, ashamed. Inspired by Angelou, she checked in, angry, rude patron, and paused before reacting. She became a manager, glowing with calm. Naming emotions isn't weak. It's powerful, grounding you to manage even the wildest waves. Another crucial step is to practice self-compassion. Emotions often come with judgment. I shouldn't feel this. But kindness lets you process them without shame. Tell yourself, it's okay to feel this, I'm human. Then choose a soothing action, like breathing deeply or stepping away. I learned this from Thich Nhat Hanh, who said, "Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor." His mindfulness tamed emotions, fostering peace. I used to beat myself up for burnout. Han's compassion taught me. I'd breathe, say, "It's okay," and rest. My focus sharpened, my practice grew. Sarah practiced, "I'm stressed, it's fine," and sipped tea. Her patience bloomed, promotions followed. Pausing and compassion don't suppress emotions, they guide them, building control from within.
Those are such nurturing steps, Rachel. Naming emotions and self-compassion. Angelou and Han make it so approachable. But what about when intense emotions like anger or anxiety threaten to derail you at work or home? How do you manage those in the moment?
Oh, Emily, intense emotions are like wildfires. They flare fast, threatening to consume everything. The key is to slow the moment with a grounding technique. When anger or anxiety hits, your body reacts. Heart races, thoughts blur. So anchor yourself physically to regain control. One tool is 5-4-3-1 grounding. Name 5 things you see, 4 you can touch, 3 you hear, 2 you smell, 1 you taste. Pulls you back to now, cooling the blaze. I draw from Michelle Obama, who said, "When they go low, we go high." Her calm under pressure, facing criticism, built her influence, grounding her emotions for impact. When I'd get angry, colleagues ignored my ideas. I'd clench, ready to snap, derailing meetings. Obama's high road inspired me. I tried grounding, saw my pen, felt my chair, heard hums. I spoke calmly, ideas landed, and my coaching thrived, books sold. I coached a client named Michael, a chef whose anxiety, rushed orders made him yell, risking his job. He felt helpless. Inspired by Obama, he grounded, saw knives, touched counters, smelled garlic. He stayed steady, earned respect, and owns a restaurant now. Grounding tames the fire, preserving your clarity. Another strategy is redirecting energy constructively. Intense emotions carry power. Use it, don't fight it. Angry? Write your thoughts, then shred them. Anxious? Walk briskly. Channel the surge into action that aligns with your goals. I learned this from Serena Williams, who says, "I use my energy to win, not to lose." Her channeled intensity won 23 slams. I redirected anger, journaled, then pitched better, my practice soared. Michael walked off anxiety, planned menus, his team trusts him. Grounding and redirecting don't deny emotions, they harness them, keeping you steady in any storm.
That's so empowering, Rachel. Grounding and redirecting energy. Obama and Williams bring it to life. You've mentioned incredible figures like Angelou and Han. Are there other famous people whose emotional management inspires you?
Oh, definitely, Emily. Emotional management shines through so many lives. Take J.K. Rowling, who said, "It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities." Her depression fueled Harry Potter. She channeled pain into creativity, changing culture. When my talks failed, nerves shook me, Rowling's choices inspired. I breathed, wrote fears, and retooled. My seminars packed rooms. I coached a client named Olivia, a nurse angry at chaos, lashing out. Rowling's channeling led her to journal. She leads calmly, saving lives. Another is Desmond Tutu, who said, "Forgiveness is not forgetting, it's letting go of the hurt." His joy amid apartheid's pain reconciled nations. When a book flopped, Tutu's forgiveness helped. I let go of shame, rewrote hit charts. Olivia, inspired by Tutu, forgave stress, she trained staff, glowing. Then there's Malala Yousafzai, who says, "I don't want to be remembered as the girl who was shot, but as the girl who stood up." Her fear became courage, earning a Nobel. I coached a client named Ethan, a coder anxious about pitches, freezing up. Malala's courage led him to breathe. He built an app, Mentors Now. These icons, Rowling's creativity, Tutu's forgiveness, Malala's courage, show emotions are tools shaping lives of impact.
Those stories are so uplifting, Rachel. Rowling, Tutu, Malala, they show emotions' power. What about when guilt or shame, like feeling you've let others down, makes managing emotions hard? How do you handle that?
Guilt and shame are heavy, Emily, like chains tying you to mistakes, whispering you're unworthy. The key is to separate feelings from facts. Guilt says, "I did wrong." Shame says, "I am wrong." Challenge them, ask, "What's true? What can I fix?" One tool is a reality check. Write the event, what you feel, and one action to mend, like apologize. It lifts the weight. I draw from Brené Brown, who said, Shame cannot survive being spoken. Her vulnerability frees millions. When I missed a deadline, clients upset. I drowned in shame thinking, I'm a fraud. Brown speaking helped. I checked. Late report. Guilty. Email sorry. I fixed it. Trust grew. My book soared. I coached a client named Lauren, a teacher who forgot a parent meeting, ashamed she'd failed kids. Inspired by Brown, she checked. Missed it. Sorry. Reschedule. Parents thanked her. She shines now. Reality checks loosen shame's grip, freeing you to manage emotions. Another strategy is practicing forgiveness. Forgive yourself as you'd a friend say, I'm learning. It heals guilt, restoring balance. I learned from Desmond Tutu, who forgave pain, saying, without forgiveness, there's no future. I forgave my slip, my practice thrived. Lauren forgave herself, her teaching bloomed. Forgiveness and facts don't erase guilt. They transform it, fueling emotional clarity.
That's so liberating, Rachel. Checking facts and forgiving. Brown and Tutu make it clear. How do we sustain emotional management long-term, especially when life stress or habits pull us back?
Sustaining emotional management is like tending a river. It flows with care, even through rocky seasons. One habit is daily mindfulness pauses. Take 2 minutes, breathe, notice feelings to stay aware. I learned from Thich Nhat Hanh, who said, the best way to take care of the future is to take care of the present moment. His pauses heal. I pause mornings, my coaching thrives, books grow. I coached a client named Anna, a lawyer lost in stress. Han's mindfulness led her to pause. She won cases, mentors now. Another key is building emotional rituals. Tie regulation to routine like journaling after work to anchor control. Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. His rituals survived camps. I journal nightly, my talks shine. Anna journaled, her calm grew, she leads teams. Also, seek supportive connections. Share feelings with trusted friends, they mirror clarity. Michelle Obama says, good relationships are built on trust. Her circle lifts her. My friends ground me, books sell. I coached a client named Mark, a salesman raging at quotas. Obama's trust led him to share. He's steady mentoring. Finally, anchored to purpose. Your why, love, impact guides emotions. Nelson Mandela endured for freedom, saying, it's what we make out of what we have. My why, helping, centers me. These habits, pauses, rituals, connections, purpose, sustain management, making emotions your strength.
Those are such radiant tools, Rachel. Han's mindfulness, Frankl's space, Mandela's purpose. It's a blueprint for balance. As we close, what's one final piece of advice for listeners ready to manage emotions today?
My biggest advice is to name one feeling now. Management starts with a single gentle act of awareness. Think of Fred Rogers, who said, anything that's human is mentionable, and anything mentionable is manageable. His calm touched millions. For me, it was naming stress, a step that built a life I love. One last story. I coached a single dad named Brian, a clerk whose anger scared his kids, feeling helpless. We looked at Maya Angelou, who named pain, saying, there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story. Brian named, I'm overwhelmed, paused and hugged his son. He teaches now, radiant. If Brian can manage, so can you. Pause now, name one emotion. That act builds a life of balance.
What a beautiful way to wrap up, Rachel. Brian's story, alongside legends like Rogers and Angelou, shows emotional management is for everyone. Thank you for sharing such profound wisdom and practical steps. I know our listeners are ready to find their balance.
Thank you, Emily, and to all the listeners. I hope you feel empowered to embrace your emotions with wisdom and grace.
And that's it for today's episode of Journey to Success. If this conversation stirred your heart, and I'm certain it did, please hit that subscribe button to catch every transformative episode. Share this with someone ready to balance their emotions, and join us next time for more insights to fuel your journey. Until then, keep learning to manage your emotions, one gentle pause at a time.